Hi guys, MK Party won award somewhere Waten eThekwini, right? So mina I didn't report about it, right? Hi. Okay, I let things slide, I let things go. I was busy anyway. So because I didn't report about it. Now, just today, Helen Zille has tweeted crying foul. Yay. Action SA, MK Party, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go through that. ANC launched a complaint. Now they are crying foul. And I'm sitting there, I'm saying to myself, how? ANC crying foul, DA crying foul. So, what happened? So I will give you more about that. MK Party released a statement, right? Zuma continue to rise. In other words, Zuma continue to defeat people. But again, let me read the tweet from Helen Zille. The tweet says, this past Wednesday, there was a clear two-horse race in a by-election in Ward 110 at eThekwini, DA versus Umkhonto weSizwe Party. But along came Action SA and blocked an independent candidate, splitting the DA's vote, which allowed MK to win by 22 votes. When will the voters ever learn? This is Helen Zille basically blaming the voters, that the voters have, they are wrong, there are comments, so we're going to be reading all of the comments in this specific video. We'll go to the letter ANC. We'll talk about the ANC letter as well, because I think it's very important that I also share the ANC letter as well as the MK Party letter and what MK Party said after winning the ward. So where will you like me to start? Okay, maybe let's start here. The ward that we are talking about, it has been said that MK Party won that ward by 39%, right? So they got around 39%. Let me give you the correct numbers. But yeah, it was too tight, guys. It was too tight. Yeah, but that one, it went down to the wire. I will not lie to you. It went down to the wire. It was too close. Look, just 20 MK Party won by 22 votes. It was like it literally went down to the wire. I don't know, why am I not seeing this thing? MK Party got about 2,435 votes. DA got about 2,413 votes. That's 38.9%. That's 38.6%. Well, this one, it went down to the wire. ANC got about 966 votes. That is 15.4. EFF got about 30 votes. That is 0.48. Have you noticed that EFF is not doing well in all these by-elections? I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I've not yet came across, not that it didn't happen, because people will say, but hey, you don't know this. I've not yet came across a situation where we learn that EFF have defeated people in that by-election. I've not yet seen it yet. It might be there. I've not yet seen it. But before you guys crucify me, because that's the best thing that I know you will do to me. Listen to the people of MK Party winning. But yeah, I can promise you that as soon as I'm done playing their videos here, then we'll come back to the ANC complaint, and then we follow. Then we continue with the Helen Zille and people commenting on Helen Zille. So let's start with MK Party celebrating here. As soon as the celebration was done and dusted, MK Party released a letter that I thought to myself, I need to read you this letter. MK Party says the Umkhonto weSizwe Party proud announced its historic victory in Ward 110 at eThekwini region, previously held by the Racist Democratic Alliance DA. This win is more than just a local government success. It is a clear resounding sign of the MK Party growing dominance in South African politics and beyond. Okay, for a ward once considered a DA stronghold, this success speaks volume about shifting political landscape and the trust that communities are placing in our vision for a better, more inclusive and just South Africa. The people of Ward 110 have spoken, and they have chosen a party whose key vision is that of expropriation of land without compensation and redistribution to the wealth of this country to its rightful owners, the marginalized majority of this country. The victory reaffirms what we have started all along, what we have stated all along. The MK Party is not just a movement, but the future of this country. We are grateful to the voters, supporters, and the ground forces of Ward 111 who made it possible. We are committed to delivering our promises to the expropriation of land without compensation, building a nation that works for all, especially the poor black majority, right? That's what MK Party said after winning that. Right. Speaking about ANC, there was also something quite interesting that I saw. I don't know what happened about that voice note. There was a voice note of a member of ANC who said that I know they've been even though they didn't want to acknowledge, but that person was basically saying in that voice note that they have come to a point where they need to acknowledge that MK Party's dominancy is unstoppable. I'm trying to see where I might have mistakenly placed that voice note, but I will find it. I will find it, guys. And yeah, I wanna go to the ANC part, but I don't know, man, why I missed that voice note. There was a voice note where a person was heard, crying. There was a lamentation. Yeah, Umkhonto weSizwe cannot be stopped. Okay, kulungile. Asambeni siyo-checker ANC. If I find that audio, I think I will insert that audio here. But again, let's go and check ANC. ANC KZN lodged a formal complaint with the IEC over an illegal vote registration in eThekwini Ward 110. The South African National Congress, ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, has officially lodged a formal complaint with the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, following an alarming evidence of irregular illegal voters registration in Ward 110 of the eThekwini municipality. During today's by-election process, the ANC uncovered a blatant manipulation of voters' role in the Mount Moria voting district. These findings raises serious concern about the integrity and the credibility of the electoral process in this ward. Our investigation have revealed shocking discrepancies. This is what ANC said. 135 individuals are registered at 01 Mount Moria Drive, a one-bedroom flat clearly incapable of housing such a large number of people. 79 individuals are registered at 2 Mount Moriah Drive, again raising suspicions about a legitimacy of these entries. Bullet 3. Most disturbingly, 89 individuals are registered as non-existent address 09 Mount Moriah Drive. This appears to be a deliberate attempt to manipulate the voters' roll, which is not only illegal but a direct threat to our democracy. It undermines public confidence in our democratic institution and electoral process. ANC view this matter with an utmost seriousness. We have submitted all the supporting documentations to the IEC and demand an urgent, thorough investigation. Immediately corrective action is essential to restore the integrity of the voters' roll. We call on the ANC to fulfill its. We call on the IEC to fulfill its constitutional mandate to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. We also urge all political parties to act responsibly, refrain from conduct that compromises the democratic processes. The ANC will not tolerate any effort to subvert the will of the people. We remain steadfast to our commitment to safeguarding democracy and protecting the integrity of our electoral system throughout KwaZulu-Natal, issued by the ANC. So, the essence of what you read here is that ANC is saying we have been robbed. Funny enough, ANC are the masters of this game. I don't need to tell you what happened when they were, what was it in Mpumalanga Stadium, taking people from Gauteng. Some of those people are the ladies who are selling their bodies on the street. They were promised 200 rand KFC, free transport. I don't need to talk about that. Not long ago, the very same ANC was caught. Like there's been many instances where the same ANC was caught doing the exact same act. So you just kind of feel like, wait a minute. ANC, basically you are complaining about this, but you look. Remember what happened at Raymond Richmond, where there was going to be a welcoming of MK Party members who apparently left ANC, joined MK Party, and then came back to the ANC because ANC is their home. Do you remember that? So you are a master of such a stunt. Now you are complaining. It's so interesting. Now, I want us to go back to the issue of Helen Zille, and I want to read you a reaction of band. So somebody says, okay, let me start with Helen Zille. Helen Zille says, this past Wednesday, there was a clear two-horse race in a by-election in Ward 111. At Tegwini, DA versus MK Party. Along came Action SA and blocked an independent candidate, splitting the DA's vote sorry, I read it wrong. Along came Action SA and backed an independent candidate, splitting DA's vote, which allowed MK to win by 22 votes. When will voters learn? So then somebody commented and said, so instead of seeing what you did wrong as leaders of the party, you blame voters. Okay? That's a serious question, and that's an interesting question. Helen Zille responded and said, it was a bloody miracle and the result of back-breaking hard work that we did as we did. But in the end, just 22 votes who didn't understand the political counters of the by-election voted for Action SA's independent and handed the word to MK Party. They need to know. It appears like whenever there's a competition, it's not about EDA. I'm thinking about EDA. I'm saying to myself, EDA. Tool. Let me allow people to talk. Again, that's on you guys, because you can't steal a husband from a wife unless he's unhappy. She will never forgive Action SA bitter ex. Why What makes you more entitled to voters than Action SA? Sit down, you lost, wena. Right, uthi Helen Zille, shame. There is no pill for stupid. They thought they were voting for Action SA. It was actually a vote for MK Party. Do you get it now? Otherwise, I can't help you further. How? So, okay, in what Helen Zille has said so far, I just don't see the logic. I might be slow, I admit. Helen Zille, please school us, because some of us, we can't follow. Okay, did the vote from the Action SA or the independent candidate somehow assist MK Party? How? Okay, you will say by splitting that. So the independent candidate, who was he backing? Was he backing DA? Was he backing MK Party? Because the independent candidate, as you explained, the independent candidate was backed by Action SA. You know why I'm saying this? That I'm a bit confused. In the moonshot, we know if you vote DA, it's the same thing. If you vote IFP, same thing. You know, and the other political parties, it's same thing, right? Same thing. So is Action SA? Oh, okay. It would have made sense if you say this person was from the IFP and then you are from the DA and look, you split the votes. If people vote for this, then you combine and make them one. It makes sense. But in this case, how is it making sense? Like, please make it make sense to me, because, I mean, I'm trying to understand your logic and your thinking here, but I don't. Helen Zille uthi, the margin of MK Party's victory was 22 votes. That is all Action SA had to take from the DA's vote to enable MK to win. Hey, okay, Utamunya, how much did your funders pay IFP to vote with you guys? Diane McPherson, responded. Surprisingly, KwaZulu-Natal Action SA leader Zwanele Mngwango has also welcomed the MK Party's win in the eThekwini. We were not even contesting that ward, yet DA were attacking us there. So I am happy that MK won again. Won against the DA, Mngwango told IOL. Oh, okay. But, you know, like, let me be fair. Right now, I'm hearing Koko Helen Zille, busy crying, yeah, MK Party this, MK Party that, MK Party this. And, I mean, sorry, Action SA this. I'm trying to see the video, who, because I think I saw the video, but I don't know, maybe I didn't save the video. It's fine. So even now, Helen Zille is busy complaining about Action SA. Few days later, you know what I'm saying, is busy complaining about Action SA. But yeah, this is what people have got to say. What is the DA going to look? When is the DA going to learn gracious defeat? The MK Party defeated the combined DA and IFP, ANC and EFF. The community rejected all of you in favor of MK Party. Just stomach that Gogo, Helen Zille, and stop whining. The DA, just like the ANC, are suffering from internal conflict. Look at the DA committed treason and gambled with its voters' vote by being part of the GNU instead of being an opposition. We don't beg the goal was to boycott the EFF and the MK Party from joining forces with the ANC. It's just an excuse. You wanted to be part of the corrupt ANC government. Arm them with more creative ways to keep on looting. Leave Action SA alone. You really have a bigger problems ahead of you. Remain an opposition party. Watch people vote for you. Okay. Helen, I am not an Action SA fan at all. You cannot blame other parties if your own party fails to be a compelling choice for the voters. Instead of lamenting, figure out how to capture those votes and more next time. Voters had a strategic choice to make this election, DA or MK party. We are not perfect, but streets better than the party that looted and captured the state. A vote for Action SA in this by-election was a vote for MK party, and voters needed to get that. Helen Zille, I thought at this moment she would have stopped commenting, and it appears like lento iyamudla. Angazi mudlweni, but iyamudla lento emdlayo. It's chowing her. I don't know what is chowing her, but whatever it is that is chowing her, it's chowing her, right? People have got this to say. It's very bad optics to blame the voters instead of either your party's policies or approach. Helen Zille commented, voters get the outcome they voted for, and it's time they grasp the consequences. What will be the consequences? We have seen people after being voted out, members of the councillors were coming from the ANC. We have seen people going as far as removing transformers, something that is completely illegal, to be quite honest. It is illegal. You can't build a road and people outvote you and then you go and destroy that road. No, it's illegal. It shouldn't have happened, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? It happened. So we have seen things. We've seen things of that nature happening. So as people are icon. So what will be the consequences that Helen Zille is talking about? There are no fairness in elections. MK party should be the ruling party in this country. If the actual result were announced in the last elections, people are tired of being force-fed with political parties they don't vote for. Sure, Helen Zille will respond. Sure, Helen Zille will respond, but let's proceed. But Helen, so if the IFP decided not to contest, just to give you vote, what's different? What different with what Action SA did here? Because the Action SA wants your favor. Okay, that's interesting. Voters learn to vote out of races. Voters learned to vote out races into power. They just need to learn to vote out the inept and the corrupt. Hi, omunye waphendula wathi, Action SA is always the common denominator to disrupt. They have no morals, as their primary and only goal is to always oppose the DA. DA go right, Action SA left. DA go left, Action SA right. Hi. I don't know, but like there's this thing, man. Yeah, there's this thing. Yeah, there's this thing. Yeah, DA in Action SA, DA in Action SA, DA in Action SA. I don't know. Maybe it's a new political strategy building towards the 2026 local elections. I don't know. Mzanele Mngcango yena has responded and say, accept that you lost a ward to MK party after spending a lot of money and using state resources. At Diane McPherson tried with Imbizo, promising people properties owned by public works, and all didn't work. Stop your obsession with Action SA. We contest openly if we want to contest. Black colored communities that voted DA in the Western Cape province are seeing no service delivery, rising crimes, no jobs. People are sick and tired for voting for empty promises. We are actually more concerned with my black people. We are actually more concerned with why black people are voting for the DA. We welcome MK party of what 110. The people have chosen wisely. There's one comment that actually it just captured the moment very nicely. It just captured the moment very nicely and saying, Gogo, why are your garden boy Dollar from Palapala did not marinate IFP, which was voting with you? Shame, man. Devon people choose themselves now over you. You must learn. KZN is not Cape Town. Get used to this. MK Party iphethe abelungu emhlanga rocks now. Hello. Bekafaka usawoti esilondeni. Kumele abosho ukuthi ufaka usawoti esilondeni. Bopen. For what he said. Okay, this person says, the help you got from IFP didn't help. MK Party managed to pull through, defeating both of you in the process. I thought it was too early for MK commanders to release a picture like this, but clearly it is becoming a reality. Gwaza MK, we have taken a word from all three big parties. Oh my God. Omunye naye unprovoked. They are like Kaizer Chiefs fans. They don't deserve to win those ones. Have you seen what is happening ever since Kaizer Chiefs beat Mamelodi Sundowns? Have you seen what happens around the country? Kaizer Chiefs doesn't deserve to win because I'm a Kosi fans. Hi corner, guys. Hi corner. Have you seen what is happening? Oh, guys. There's another one from MK Party. Black Jesus. Uthi MK Party ziyakhala ke manje. Abanye benu bayokhala. Some of you will regret President Jacob Zuma. Mbopen nalo. Mbopen. Funelena amaphoyisa lo. Konte off ngaye. Okay, there's something that Chris Excel once said. I rejected 25,000 to 30,000 to tweet nonsense about Jacob Zuma. I can attest to this, and I will tell you why I'm saying this. I can attest to this. By the way, there was I once met a producer. I won't tell you the radio station. The producer told me that they were told never to say anything good about Jacob Zuma. Me, I knew, look, this producer told me, during the time, do you remember when DA was protesting, it was all over, they were saying Zuma must fall, the march that did not attract most black people to, so remember that. I met that person during those times. After those times, that person explained to me, that's when I actually understood, oh, this is the war, you know what I'm saying? Helen Zille will lodge a complaint before the by-election against score of voters claiming to be registered at the same address. The IEC dismissed our complaint. That is what swings the result of by-elections. So remember that I said MK Party have said that they have, sorry, not MK Party, but ANC said that they've lodged a complaint with the IEC, complaining about people who have been registered in some addresses, blah, 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 blah. It turns out that the action DA now they've lodged a complaint, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of everything, I think there are a few things that I think we need to pay attention to. One, I'm worried about EFF. And jokes aside, I'm not even saying this in a manner that I'm probably backmouthing them or taking a jab at them. I'm noticing a trend ever since there's this by-elections, right? They can hardly get to number 2. So I don't know. I think they need to get their house in order because this can be an indicator of what might happen during the local elections 2026. And I am not saying they will not do well, because I know people are good to just take you out of context. I'm not saying that. This, if I was an EFF looking at this will tell me that how much work that needs to be done in preparation of the 2026. For me, this tells me about that. If you are MK Party, on the other hand, what you are looking at is like, okay, we have tested different strategies, because this is a period where you are testing strategies. You are busy testing strategies to say what will happen. Look, when we look, if we take this approach, what happened? If this up, you are doing that. So by the time the local elections take place, you already know what works for you, how to approach the elections. In a way, you are gathering data as a new party. If you are DA at this moment, you are looking at, hey, we need a new strategy. What can we do to win the local elections? Because if we don't change our strategy, clearly MK Party will sweep everything. If you are ANC who's used to victories, now you are looking at this and you're like, why are people rejecting you? And now you suddenly have a serious competition, and most of those competition you don't win. So you now have to ask yourself a question going into the 2026 local election, because if you have looked at the number of wards, ANC actually contested in everywhere. There's no ward that I can remember of, that I know of, where ANC did not contest. Yes, somewhere in Gauteng they won, you know what I'm saying? But if you're taking the wins and you put them into perspective, and then you're looking at the ratio will tell you that you've got a reason to worry here, right? That's what I've seen, right? It will tell you that you've got a reason to worry. There's a worrying trend here. Maybe if you were to look at the graph is no longer upward. It's just either this way or downward. You understand? Most when you're looking at stability and you put it into analytics, and then you're looking at the graph, growth, when you're looking at the graph in the context of MK Party, the arrows will be pointing upward. It will be green. But I think when it comes to the DA, it is downward. Understand? It still says average, but I think it says downward. But when you look at the ANC, I think it's straight like this. It's no longer upward, but the graph will be straight like this. When you're looking at EFF, for instance, the graph is pointing downward. In other words, if there was a nuclear reactor, the alarms will be on. In other words, there's a threat. It does not mean that MK Party will win come 2026 election. No, just because they are doing well in these elections. Not that they've won everything. I didn't say that. I'm saying in comparison, the numbers, they are doing well. They are a new political party, contesting, winning in key areas as well. You know what I'm saying? DA, ANC, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this, I know for a fact, they will take the stats, you know what I'm saying? Look at this and say, how are we? Look, it's gonna be about how we interpret the data, because this is how they gather data. It's about how are we gonna make use of this and change the situation. That is what basically I am reading, looking at the local by-elections, right? Going into the actual elections 2026. So let's proceed. Let's wait and see. It does appear like MK Party has got a strategy. They don't campaign everywhere. They campaign in strategic areas. That's what I've actually noticed about MK Party. They don't campaign everywhere. They campaign in strategic areas. What's your take about everything? Get into the comment section below. Tell me your thought and your opinion. I'll see you guys on the next episode. But until then, please take care.